Super Bowl 53 is all but set between the Los Angeles Rams and the New England Patriots. What is going on, y'all? Fox Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL here to talk about the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl that I did predict back in the preseason, back in September, on who would be playing in Super Bowl 53. That is the Rams and the Patriots. You can go check the receipts. I posted the video on my Instagram and my Twitter. Links down below for both of those. With that being said, if you're new to the channel, make sure to go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button down below, because I do talk a lot of football on this channel, and I still will talk football on this channel, even in the off season, because of course the games will now be no more after the Super Bowl, but there will still be obviously a bunch of news in the off season as well. And now with the NBA season picking up, maybe I'll transition over to the NBA. So with that being said, let's talk now about the Super Bowl. Let's talk about my prediction, the keys in this game for either team, the key matchups that I'm looking at, and ultimately give you guys a score at the very end, of course, on who I believe is going to win this game, and give you the exact score for that game, for that team, and the end. So with that being said, let's not wait any longer. Let's get started. So first and foremost, we'll start with the numbers here. See how these teams match up against one another, especially defensively. And we take a look at the Patriots defense, which I might add, a lot of people have said, you know, it's been pretty putrid, and it really had, but they held the Chiefs to 0 points in the first half. So I just want to point that out. They are the 21st overall defense, 22nd against the pass, 11th against the rush. And so we take a look at the Rams now on the other side, the 19th overall defense, 14th against the pass, and 23rd against the rush. So clearly we do see some deficiencies on either team in terms of, you know, sort of where they're weaker at. You know, obviously the Patriots, their rush defense a little bit stronger than their pass defense, and the Rams are a little weak against the rush versus the pass. So things like that we want to keep in mind, right? Because obviously we know on either side there are brilliant coaches in Bill Belichick and Sean McVay, and they are going to look to exploit every single weakness that you can possibly find. I'm telling you right now, Bill Belichick and Sean McVay, these guys probably won't leave their house or the office or wherever they usually, you know, do their game plan for the next 2 weeks. I mean, the only reason they're leaving that facility is to go to the bathroom and maybe to eat food, and even food, they'll probably bring it to the facility, because I am telling you, they're going to look for every single freaking advantage they can find on the other team. So with that being said, what am I looking for in this game? The first question I have really is for the Rams, okay? And the question is, which Todd Gurley are we going to see? Because this is the biggest question, I believe, heading into the Super Bowl out of everything else. Todd Gurley was the front runner for MVP at the end of the regular season. And then we saw it in the playoffs. CJ Anderson usurped him. Now, there were concerns about Todd Gurley being hurt. Clearly, we saw that the injury report did not indicate that he was hurt at all. He gets 4 carries for 10 rushing yards last week, okay, or the game against the Saints. That's Todd Gurley, 4 carries, okay? CJ Anderson, I think, got 16. So I want to know what in the world is wrong with Todd Gurley, because he's not getting the workload, and actually, even when he is getting the opportunity, he has not been the same guy. He dropped 2 key passes against the Saints in that game that were crucial. Now, obviously, the Rams did end up winning that game, but could those 2 catches have helped a lot and make it less close than it was? Absolutely. So for me, I want to know what version of Todd Gurley I'm getting here, and what exactly and how exactly the Rams expect to deploy him, because that is going to be a big part of who is going to win the Super Bowl, and clearly from the Rams' perspective. So for me, that's the biggest thing here, because I'm not saying you phase CJ Anderson out of the game plan. No, absolutely not. He actually won them that matchup against the Cowboys. But what I am saying is, can Todd Gurley return to the same Todd Gurley of old? Because what is wrong with him? Is he hurt? Is he limping? Is the game plan not right? What is wrong with Todd Gurley? That's my number 1 question. So number 2 question is, can the Rams generate a pass rush against Tom Brady? Can they do it? Because we saw the Chiefs I keep saying last week. The previous game, against the Chiefs, we saw the Chiefs have had the most sacks out of all teams in the NFL, and they were not able to generate any sacks on Tom Brady. The offensive line for the Patriots played brilliantly, and they weren't even able to get any sort of penalties. I mean, that's how good their offensive line was for the New England Patriots. So here's the thing. If you're telling me that the Rams with Aaron Donald and Ndamukong Suh and those guys on the front line of the defense are not going to be able to get a single sack or generate any sort of pressure on Tom Brady, and Tom Brady's going to be able to just sit back, obviously, and pick apart the Rams defense, I will pick the Patriots, okay? I will do it, and I will do it with ease, because here's the thing. Tom Brady in the pocket, we know it. He's a magician, okay? So we need, or I shouldn't say we, the Rams need Tom Brady to be out of the pocket, or they need him to be on his back, a.k.a. get a couple sacks on him. So that's going to be key number 2 for me, is really what can this D-line do against the Patriots offensive line, and are they going to be able to generate some pass rush on Tom Brady? So that is going to be key. And finally, number 3, the third question I have is, who is Bill Belichick going to take away from the Rams? Because we know Bill Belichick always tries to take away your top weapon. He did that against the Chiefs. He's done it twice now. Travis Kelce has had some horrendous games against the New England Patriots. I believe the game that he had against the Patriots just this past day was probably his worst game ever. So for me, I want to know, who is Bill Belichick probably going to be trying to take out, because the Rams have a plethora of weapons. Now, we just talked about Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley was the engine that made the Rams go, but clearly Todd Gurley hasn't been the same, and they've still found a way to win. So are you going to take away Todd Gurley? Because really, the Rams themselves have taken away Todd Gurley, or maybe Todd Gurley has taken himself away. Are you taking away Brandon Cooks? Are you taking away Robert Woods? Who are you trying to take away? Because you know what? I think Sean McVay, if he were to know that, or he were to try to game plan that, he will for sure try to exploit and scheme open the other guy. Because we saw last week, Brandon Cooks had the better game versus Robert Woods. We saw Josh Reynolds had a good game. So there is no alpha in this Rams team in terms of an Antonio Brown or Julio Jones, especially with the receivers. Everybody eats. Now, you could have said with Todd Gurley, he's the main component, but again, that's why Todd Gurley was my biggest question mark. Which Todd Gurley are we getting here? So that is going to be key here. So that's what I'm looking for with these 3 key question marks for this game. And if these question marks are answered, we have a very clear, way of knowing who is going to win this game. So you know what? Let me just answer these questions for you, because obviously this is what I'm doing. I'm predicting who I think will win in this matchup. And let's start with that Todd Gurley question. Which Todd Gurley is showing up? And I think the MVP caliber Todd Gurley is showing up. Here's my sort of 2 cents behind it. I think Sean McVay and company have been very careful with Todd Gurley, because he was entering the playoffs very hurt, and they were taking it easy on him. And plus, CJ Anderson made it very easy with his playing. Now, I don't think Todd Gurley is going to obviously take all the carries away from CJ Anderson, but I do believe Todd Gurley will be heavily involved in this game, because here's my other reasoning behind it. If Todd Gurley isn't involved in this game as much as you believe he should be, and the Rams lose, oh my God, they will never hear the end of it. Sean McVay will never hear the end of it, of how could you not use Todd Gurley enough? If Todd Gurley gets 4 carries in this game, I think the Rams lose. I'm pretty sure they do. Okay, so for me, I think you get the MVP caliber Todd Gurley, or as close as you can to it. And so I think you're going to see a big game out of Todd Gurley. That is advantage, obviously, to the Los Angeles Rams. Let's move on to the other question. Can the Rams get a pass rush on Tom Brady? And I do believe they will be able to generate more of a pass rush than the Chiefs. I do believe the Rams D-line is better than the Chiefs. And you know what? The secondary for the Rams has been playing better, which obviously could aid the pass rush as well. Here's the thing. Tom Brady, you just got to make him think a little bit. Even if you don't get him on his back, just make him think you are. Just get there ASAP. And you know what? There's nobody better in the NFL at getting to the quarterback than Aaron Donald, who led the league in sacks. So if you're telling me, can I bet on one guy or, one person to be able to generate some sort of a pass rush or aid his D-line in getting that pass rush, it's probably Aaron Donald. It's Aaron Donald, Khalil Mack. It's in that class, but it's probably Aaron Donald. So I'm thinking he's going to be able to generate some pressure. I think the Rams will be able to get to Brady much, much more than I think the Chiefs were able to get to. So advantage to the Rams on that one as well. And now let's talk about the last question. Who will Bill Belichick take away in this game? And you know what? I don't think he's going to try to take away Todd Gurley because, again, Todd Gurley hasn't been a part of the game plan for the last 2 weeks. So I believe he's probably going to try to take away Brandon Cooks and the deep ball because obviously Brandon Cooks is very good at those, and you don't want to give Jared Goff any sort of hope and confidence in being able to complete long passes, and Robert Woods just plays in the slot. So I think he's going to take away Brandon Cooks, which leaves Robert Woods and Josh Reynolds and guys like that, like the tight ends with Tyler Higbee and Gerald Everett. And I think Sean McVay is going to be able to just funnel the ball to those other guys. And I think for the Rams, playing the short passing game, it's going to be no issues for them. I think they should be able to work wonders against this Patriots defense with the short passing game. Now, their defense has been playing very well. Their secondary has been playing very well. But this is why I'm saying you don't challenge them deep. You can just do exactly what the Patriots do, man. Just live in the middle of the field, and you have the weapons to be able to do that. So I think taking away Brandon Cooks, who I believe Bill Belichick maybe will try to do, won't have as much of an impact, I believe, as people think. So to me, that is, again, advantage to the Rams. So overall, I think you guys can see where I'm leaning in this one. Obviously, I think the Rams have a better shot to win this game than I do the New England Patriots. Though, I will say, and this is not me hedging my bet here, will it surprise me if the Patriots win this game? Absolutely not. The other key thing here is going to be the time of possession, because this is what the Patriots do brilliantly, especially Tom Brady. He was able to keep the ball away from Patrick Mahomes and company with those long drives. And this is the key here. If he's able to do that, that's the key for the Patriots. Get those long drives of 10, 12 plays, like, you know, whatever, 14 play drives, and keep the ball away from Jared Goff and the Rams, and you're set. And you are really set. So it's going to be very important for the Rams to be able to get some pressure on Tom Brady and stop those drives, because there were too many times against the Chiefs he was able to convert on 3rd and long, and that just can't happen. So to me, obviously, it's not going to surprise me if the Patriots win this game. Heck, it's like a 1.5 line in the matchup, so it's expected to be very, very close. But again, I got to take a stand somewhere, right? So to me, the Rams, with those advantages I talked about, I think you see the real Todd Gurley. I think you were able to see some pressure being put on Tom Brady. And I think the ability of the Rams to have multiple weapons will make it a disadvantage for the Patriots to be able to take someone away. You got to remember, with the Chiefs, taking away Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, those are the two big dogs for the Chiefs. So you take those away. I mean, Patrick Mahomes doesn't really have too much else to throw to with guys like Chris Conley, you know, Demetrius Robinson and whatnot. So to me, with Jared Goff, I don't think he's got like one guy that's his guy, you know. So again, I think that is advantage to the Los Angeles Rams. So I'm going to take the Rams to win the Super Bowl, to beat the New England Patriots in this one. That was also my preseason prediction when I predicted the Rams and Patriots in the Super Bowl. I just think the Rams have the better roster overall, and I think they can win. They will win this game. Though again, I would not be surprised if the Patriots won this game, because again, they have that game plan of keeping the ball away from the Rams. And the Rams defense hasn't been very great. They could rush the ball like they've been doing with Sony Michel. Oh my God. If Sony Michel is able to get, 3 touchdowns in this game like he's been doing the past 2 weeks, I mean, the Rams will have some bad things coming their way, because they will lose this matchup. So the run game from the Patriots does scare me. Obviously, Tom Brady scares me. But you take those things into account, that is the advantage for the New England Patriots, but more advantages I see for the Rams, so I'm going to take them in this one. And my final score is actually very, very high scoring. It's in a dome, folks. It's in Atlanta. These are two offenses that will put up points. Neither defense is very great at all, so I think there's going to be a lot of points put up, and this is going to be kind of crazy that you're like you're predicting this high of a score, and I am 44-41 in favor of the Los Angeles Rams. So there you have it, folks. My Super Bowl prediction. Leave a comment down below if you agree or disagree. I think it's going to be a fun, exciting game, just like the AFC and NFC Championship games were, and I can't wait to watch. As always, thanks for watching.